Alright, so today I kind of wanted to go over boring these cylinders and kind of the best process and how to get the best results from it. So with the 550 cylinders, they do sell piston kits for 0.25 over, 0.5, 0.75, and then 1 over. So that's referring to just how much up to a millimeter. So it's fractions of a millimeter up to a millimeter. So with these, you never want to go more than 1 millimeter over. So the stock bore size on a 550 is 75 millimeters, and then you never want to go over 76 millimeters, because since the studs are so close to the cylinder walls, the bigger you go, the more you're going to have cooling issues and heat issues. And then also the bores can start to distort also when you torque your head down, since the walls are getting so thin. So a lot of the guys that I talk to that have been doing it for a very long time and are extremely knowledgeable, they won't even bore over a cylinder. If their stock cylinder is bad, they'll just get another standard size cylinder if they can find one, which is they just don't even run an overbore. So because as you overbore it, it will get hotter, and this thing has a lot of issues with being able to cool properly. So the cylinders can start to go out around and then build up too much heat and stick the ring, and then obviously you'll have a seized motor. So definitely never go over a millimeter, and go in the smallest increments that you can. So if you have a stock bore size, don't go straight to 76 for any reason unless you have major damage. Always go up just like a half step, so go to 75.5 overbore, and then if in the future, go up then to 76 if you have to. And they can actually replate these cylinders now with I don't really know, they replate them though, and they recoat them so they can get them back to the standard bore size again. So that's always an option, but it's costly. So I would just do an overbore on it, 0.5 over if you have a stock. I'm running a mil over, so I have a 76 in my boat that's on the water right now, and it does get hot. So machinists I've talked to, they'll try to sell there. They will say that it's fine to go over like that, but these cylinders are particularly delicate. So just because the piston sizes are there doesn't mean that you should put them in. So if someone is ever trying to tell you to go over 76 millimeters and bore out the cases to fit the piston, and it's just you will have problems. There are a couple people that do it, but it's not worth the risk when you're putting this kind of money into cranks and top ends. It's not worth it when you can pick up a cylinder fairly cheap. So that's kind of my thought, and many of the experts' thoughts that I talk to. So another good thing also is you measure your bore size, you decide what bore you're going to go to, and then I like to purchase the top end kit, and then when I drop my cylinder off at the machine shop, I'll give the machinist my pistons also with the sheet that comes with the pistons that gives all of the clearances and stuff, so the machinist can make sure he fits the piston you have to the bore, so there's no confusion. Because that stuff happens, there are miscommunications sometimes, and you want to definitely try to avoid that as much as possible. So get your pistons that you decide on. I like WSM. That's what I have in my boat right now, but Wiseco is perfectly fine too. And the big thing is that the cast pistons, you can kind of get away with just starting it and then hopping right on and giving it the giving it the throttle, and you shouldn't really have a problem. But with the forged pistons, they are much more likely to seize up from heating up quickly. So it's really important that you warm up your engine so that you don't hop right on and then just give it the gas and then you get out, you know, a little ways from shore, and then the thing seizes up because the piston's expanded and pinched the ring. So I always ride on my knees for about a minute and just kind of go maybe quarter throttle, go really easy on it, and then I'll stand up and go half throttle for about a minute, and then after that I'll start to slowly start giving it a little bit more throttle. You know, 3 minutes is really, I'd say, all you need. I haven't had an issue. It's just be really easy on it when you first start it. If you have these forged pistons in it, it's really important just to warm it up, because you don't want to have a seized motor over something silly like that. So that's kind of my my kind of guide to piston sizes and bore sizes. So I'll see you in the next one.